back to G50. I'm Katherine Finnegan.
And I'm Jenna Powers, and today we'll be covering a variety of topics.
To start off, the new Snapchat AI has taken the Snapchat world by storm.
We asked AI to introduce himself, and this is what we got.
My AI is the friend you never knew you needed. It's like having a personal assistant, but without the salary. You can ask it anything you want, and it'll do its best to give you a helpful response.
I don't like that.
Well, it exists, so let's take a look and learn more. Hello, I'm Katherine Finnegan, and this week, me, Jenna, and Riley talked about the new Snapchat AI. A couple months ago, Snapchat added the artificial intelligence to its app for premium users only, but quite recently, they made it public to all users. The new AI is programmed to be a friendly conversationalist who you can talk to at any time with an instant response. You can even name the AI or customize its own Bitmoji. If you're familiar with the AI program ChatGPT, this is Snapchat's own version of it. Use it wisely. Yes. The idea of AI creeps out a lot of people, so we asked Madison High School students what they think about the new feature. Okay, what is your thought on the new Snapchat AI, and are you creeped out by it?
I think it's awesome that technology has the ability to do that. I don't think I'm creeped out by it because I know it's just a computer-generated response system, but I do think it's very cool.
How often do you talk to it?
I showed up on my phone 2 nights ago, and ever since I've been talking to him.
What's his name?
Alfred.
What do you think about the Snapchat AI?
So I just learned what it is 30 seconds ago from you. And for me, I would think that maybe it serves a purpose for somebody who is particularly lonely and feels that they need somebody to talk to, but doesn't have somebody to talk to. But at the same time, I feel like just with AI in general, like that creates this almost alternate reality that some people live in. And you see that with some of these cases already in like the metaverse, where people really kind of believe that that is their version of their reality that they want to live. So I would think that that's problematic. And then it's you've got to worry about how smart are we making these computers and the AI, and are we or how far away from Skynet are we really? Is it only a matter of time before the Terminators come for us? And the next thing you know, they're running the schools. They're doing our jobs for us, probably better than we are because they're smarter than us. Certainly smarter than me. Definitely smarter than you. It's a problem. It's a problem. I'm worried about our safety. The computers are coming for us.
Thank you so much for your time. Okay, how do you feel about the new Snapchat AI?
I don't like it at all. I think it's like weird.
I think it's creepy. I feel like they're getting all of our information and are gonna like hack us.
And like they try to like pretend like they don't know anything.
But they do.
Yeah,
So do you guys use it or you just ignore it?
I ignore it.
Yeah, I don't use it.
Thank you. Riley, how do you feel about the new Snapchat AI?
I think it's pretty nice. I actually unpinned it, but I think it can really help out, give some good responses. Just like
How do you feel about the new Snapchat AI?
I think it's stupid. I didn't even accept it yet. I'm just waiting for it to go away. I think it's Snapchat's way of just making you buy Snapchat Plus, because once you buy Snapchat Plus, you can get rid of the AI.
You should all be on MySpace.
Mr. Burnich, how do you feel about the new Snapchat AI?
Snapchat AI, you're right, I don't know anything about it. I'm sure it's great. It probably is prying into your privacy more than anyone thinks. It's probably also misleading, just here's some fake news, deal with it. But it looks real, so we're like, oh, look, I don't know, Indian elephants on the rise in Florida. Some nonsense like that. And it is Florida, after all. So yeah, that's look, uninformed opinion from somewhat old guy, somewhat I said. Yeah, it's probably bad and you shouldn't use it.
Okay, thank you.
AI is blowing up.
Hey Jenna, you know what else just recently blew up in the news?
What?
The SpaceX rocket.
Not funny, Catherine, but at least no one was on board, just like I'm not on board with this newscast.
Last Thursday, SpaceX launched its newest rocket, the Starship. It surpassed its biggest obstacle, getting off the ground, but after a few minutes of flight, it exploded.
After clearing the tower was icing on the cake.
Experts say that some of the engines within the rocket failed, causing it to tumble. This triggered the self-destruction program, which is why it exploded.
With shutdown, we will get separation of Starship from Super Heavy and ignition of the Starship engines.
Elon expressed later on that failure in space exploration is necessary for progress. So despite this seeming failure of the rocket, he's looking forward to producing more and testing more.
SpaceX took to Twitter minutes after the incident to talk about the unexpected turn of events, saying, "With a test like this, success comes from what we learn, and today's test will help us improve Starship's reliability as SpaceX seeks to make life multiplanetary."
From Dodger Media Online, I'm Michael Keller. Join us next week.
For this next segment, we would like to bring in our French correspondent, Nathan.
Nathan, come join us.
Salut, the French president raised the retirement age and people are not pleased.
Wow, I wish I could speak French. Audrey, Mackay, and Marsh, investigate further.
Hello, Marshall Molina, and right now I'm reporting on a series of civil unrest incidents began in France on January 19, 2023. This was organized by opponents of the pension reform bill proposed by the Borne government, which would increase the retirement age from 62 years old to 64. The retirement pension change was enacted last Saturday. Macron, the president of France, moved to increase the retirement age. Thousands of people marched in the streets during the recent weeks. Teachers, sanitary workers, railroad workers, and teachers have all gone on strike. These workers feel unsatisfied with their labor conditions. This change in pension seeks to put out many French workers' life plans on hold, especially those who planned on recent retirement, now requiring 2 more years of work for the government to cover their economic crisis and deficit. There has been civil unrest in the streets of France with burning trash, tear gas, chanting, rallying, and destruction of property. Hello, I'm Marshall Molina, and I'm here with
Nathan Gorin.
Okay, Nathan. So I understand that you know somewhat about the riots that are going on in France, yes?
That's true.
And I also understand that you are apparently legally had French citizenship at one point?
I currently have French citizenship.
You currently have French citizenship, okay.
And the passport.
And the passport?
And the passport.
And what would you say is the motivation or the motive going behind these rioters right now? What do you think is going through their head right now?
I think they're very unhappy with the retirement age being pushed up, and this is the way that they think that they can change that.
Do you know the reasoning behind this retirement age being pushed up from the president?
From what I can understand, there was a deficit, and that's like the way that they're trying to get more money into the government.
Yeah. Would you say that the boosting of the age, would you say that that was appropriate, or rather like a smart economic strategy in order to get money in quickly? That way the government doesn't have to go through an economic crisis, or would you say that that was inconvenient and that it's not going to make much of a difference?
I feel like there are other ways that they could have brought more money in, but I can understand why that's one of the ways that they would go about doing it, because I know in a lot of other countries retirement age is a lot later, and no one's ever going to be happy about needing to work a lot more, but I feel like there were better ways that they could have found about solving this problem.
So I'm Marshall Molina, and I'm here with
Sage H. Farnioli.
Okay, so what understandings do you have about this crisis?
Well, I know the age of retirement has been lifted from 62 to 64, and I feel like that's very unfair to a lot of construction workers and manual labor workers because they aren't unable to continue working after a certain point due to the physical effects of aging, especially because manual labor is very tough on the body. And that puts them in a very unfair scenario where they are unable to move into other work because they've been doing construction for so long that that's what they know how to do, whereas they have to, and now they're subjugated to working in less ideal conditions, like fast food stores, convenience stores, things that aren't really conductive to what they know how to do. So these people are forced, I feel like, into more lesser paying jobs that have less benefits and have less of a payout. They're forced into these for longer times where they can't retire. And it's unfair to them because they feasibly finished their job as a construction worker, or at that point in their society as their kind of role, I should say. And then they have this opportunity to move on with their lives that they're not able to take because the government is mandating that they work till 64 when they physically cannot anymore.
That's pretty fair. And do you see any economic play out of this being positive for France's system going on right now? Because they did do it to battle a deficit. Do you see that a 2-year difference in work will have that much of an effect positively on their economy? Or do you think it's
I think it certainly can, because you're keeping people in the workforce for a long amount of time, but I think when you have people who are unwilling to work and do not want to work and are working trivial jobs, you're not really stimulating the economy because these people aren't really doing anything worthwhile. Like if you have somebody at a convenience store, they are doing marginally less than able-bodied man or woman building the next great football stadium or whatever. You know what I mean? There's less, it's just not conductive to the economy, I feel like. You need people to do those jobs, of course, but they're not as important as if somebody could retire, that opens new jobs in the workforce. And I think it's more about promoting young people to go into these jobs rather than keeping old people stuck in them.
Hello, I'm Marshall Molina, and I'm here with
Henry Waylandy.
Okay, cool. So do you know anything about the French riots at the moment or not?
Yeah, I know a bit about it.
Okay. So what are your opinions on the riots themselves? Do you think they're a little intense? Do you think that they're having any effect on the president's opinion about his new policy or et cetera?
Nathan, any further comments before you go?
Pour vous deux, on pourrait dire que pour aller prendre votre retraite demain, on vous dirait rien.
That was truly beautiful.
Just like you.
Stop, you're making me blush.
Okay, I think we should end it here before it gets any weirder.
Thanks for joining us today in G50.
Once again, I'm Catherine Finnegan.
And I'm Jenna Powers.
And as always,
it's a great day to be a Dodger.
Yes!